We are about to have some fun talking about Chase Sowell because I tell you what, Iowa State's got a guy in Chase Sowell. We're talking about, here at Locked On Cyclones, part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Look, we knew Chase Sowell was going to be a guy, okay? We talked about it this offseason. Honestly, it's kind of like all we talked about offensively because you had the departure of Higgins and Knoll, and everyone wanted to talk about that. I was probably one of those people. You could probably label me one of those people, but nationally, it was impossible to talk about Iowa State without talking about the loss of Higgins and Knoll. And it was actually kind of annoying. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, this team is not defined by two players. Whatever. And I know it'll be the same when Rocco leaves, and it'll probably be the same when Hansen leaves. And now I think it might be the same when Sowell leaves. Okay. This guy's got talent. Now that I am talking about Sowell because he had a breakout game against Arizona. I am not taking anything away from Overby, from Eskildsen, from Townsend, none of those guys. Okay. I'm going to talk about Sowell for just a second here. Is he the guy? He has all the talent to be the guy. Absolutely. The guy has it, as Gus Johnson would say. Whatever it is, he's got it. Okay. Now, it's easy to look at the game against Arizona and just say, well, I mean, he's got 4 catches for 147 yards or whatever, or 143 yards or whatever it was. Like, seems like a little bit of lightning in a bottle. Maybe just got really lucky against this secondary. Go back and look at those plays. Just rewatch them for me, because those are not just uncovered. Like, let me give you an example. You can go look this up. I'm sure the stat's still out there. In high school, on the varsity level, I was second or third in 2A Iowa football in yards per reception. I had 1 reception for 55 yards. That reception is very different than a Chase Sowell reception. The corner who was guarding me totally bit on a bubble route, and I was running home free to the end zone, nearly dropped it, didn't, carried it in for a touchdown, right? That is not the type of catches that Chase Sowell was making. Against Arizona, he's coming down with, falling away from the ball, cradling it. He's catching the ball like 4 feet, 3 feet from the ground and securing it instantly. So there is no question of a bobble. And unfortunately, he was like an inch short of the end zone. But that's really, really close enough for me to ignore and say he probably could have been in the end zone if he ran that back 10 times, because I trust that he'd catch it all 10 times. The other deep shot I think it was along the right sideline, to Rocco's right. He's going up, and it's like some sort of a back shoulder throw. He does a spinning pirouette in the air, goes up and grabs it with his hands. Very important. Okay. I know it's easy to think about wide receivers just grabbing it in the body, whatever, and it's like not a big deal. It is a big deal to go up and get the ball with your hands. High point that ball, bring it down, 2 hands, no bobble, full control. That's what we saw from Chase Sowell. Obviously, the slants, easy to sleep on. Those balls are coming in quick, especially from Rocco. He's got a bullet of an arm. You're looking at that DB, you're looking down at the ball. So, 1, 2, 3, right? Then the ball's on you. There is no time to think. That ball is moving. It's humming. He brings that in, and now you've got, 4 guys in front of you? He knows exactly what to do with it. So as a ball carrier, he's got it as well. All that to say, he's got what it takes. He's got the physical attributes. I think he's got the mental attributes as well, just considering what we've heard about what he went through all, not necessarily offseason, but fall camp and these first few games, battling injury. You don't just come out and have 140 yards on 4 catches if you're not mentally right. He's mentally right. So now the question to me is it Chase Sowell? It's, does Mauser scheme in other wide receivers? Because now you've got a guy in Sowell. You have a weapon. This is like when you're standing in the Nerf war, or let's say the water balloon war, right? You're in the water balloon war, you're digging around in the bucket, and you're like, oh, we're running out of water balloons, and you find a fire hose. And you're like, okay, we got a weapon. I think we're going to be all right. And then I don't know how you win a water balloon war, but you do. That's like what it feels like Iowa State found. In the bottom of the water balloon bucket, they just pulled out a fire hose. Now, that doesn't mean you can't throw the other water balloons, and I know that kind of sounds like I'm, not a fan of Eskildsen anymore, not a fan of Overby anymore. It's not the case. Eskildsen's a weapon, right? We saw that, especially early on in this season, and even in this game against Arizona, on a throw from Bramer. And we haven't even talked about Bramer or Burkle, right? So I think now the question becomes for Taylor Mauser, how do you use this new weapon? How do you attack defenses when you have now legitimate threats to stretch the field in Eskildsen and Sowell? Overby can stretch the field. I haven't seen him come down with the ball as much yet, so I'm not going to necessarily talk about it that way, but he can get up there and get the ball. He's just got to catch it, right? Then you've got guys like Benjamin Bramer and Burkle that can be those pop pass type of situations. That can be leak out wide receivers. They can run 10-yard outs, whatever. Now I feel very confident in Iowa State's passing attack. That's basically what this comes down to. You preseason, it's like, well, where do you feel like Iowa State sits at running the ball, passing the ball, stopping the run, stopping the pass, special teams, all that kind of stuff. We might take a whole segment tomorrow to talk about Iowa State's punting. Probably not a whole segment, but we'll probably mention it because that's been unreal as well. Came to my attention on Twitter, at Nick_Marvel on Twitter. If you're looking to reach out or follow me, I live tweet everything basically. But there was questions, I feel like, in the pass game this offseason. Like, who's going to answer the bell? Well, now we know. We know that the bell is able to be rung. It's just, does Taylor Mauser put the players in the spot to be able to reach the bell, to be able to ring that bell? I know he can, actually. I know he can, which is so exciting for this Iowa State offense. It starts to feel like, to me, a very competent, full, well-rounded offense. And part of that is because you've got unreal weapons across the board, but specifically because you've got Rocco Becht. He allows you to have an offense like that, to put the ball on the money 99% of the time. Those throws to Sowell are not just like throw it away. It's got to be like within a general area. He's putting it, as I've said before on this show, there's a space about this big where the ball can be, and he's putting it right here. He's putting it in a bucket, on a dime, as they say. Threading the needle, if you will. He makes great decisions. He's accurate with the ball. He's able to extend plays. Rocco is obviously the quarterback or the commander of this offense, but he's got weapons outside. Chase Sowell being one of them. Is Chase Sowell the guy? I honestly don't. I guess to answer this segment, to really round this out, I would say yes, but I don't think Taylor Mauser will use him as like the serious bona fide wide receiver one. I think we're going to get a much more balanced attack because I think that's what Iowa State does best. But it means that you always have in your back pocket that fire hose. You always have the opportunity for Chase Sowell to just take over, which is a great feeling as an Iowa State Cyclone. That being said, thank you guys so much for making it to this point in the episode, watching the whole thing. Hit subscribe, helps us prove it's a Cyclone State. I appreciate all of your guys' support, and Nick_Marv on Twitter as well. We're building a real community here. This is a lot of fun. Cyclones winning against Cincinnati. You heard my prediction yesterday. If you didn't watch it already, go back and watch that. Until next time, Cyclone fans, sayonara.